Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Owusu Ansah. Let's get into the latest in the world of sports. Well, it was another brilliant comeback from one of the traditional teams in the country after 16 years in the lower division. Bofoakwa Tano have earned their place in the Ghana Premier League after defeating Techiman 11 Wonders.
Adari whistles. Aita steps up and Aita scores. Bofoakwa Tano. Hamza Mohammed to take the corner, and Hamza swings one in and does the header and does the equalizer. Osman. Before extra time, is this going to be the winning penalty? NSCB has missed, and Bofoakwa are back into the Premier League after 16 years. The wait is over, and Sunyani will witness Premier League football next season. Bofoakwa Tano are back in the top flight. The hero is goalkeeper Emmanuel Kobi after the missed penalty by captain of the side, Osei Esibe. It's over here at the Accra Sports Stadium.
So that was what transpired at the Accra Sports Stadium. Bofoakwa Tano edged 11 Wonders 7-8 on penalties after a 1-all stalemate in regulation time in the Division 1 Zone 1 playoff at the Ohenijan Stadium. That is the Accra Sports Stadium. Bofoakwa Tano got themselves a penalty in the 7th minute. Enoch Abu scoring, being fouled, but Leslie Aiti stepped up and converted. 11 Wonders managed to get the equalizer on the 46th minute from Zakaria Osman after Hamza Mohammed sent in the corner. The reaction of the ecstatic Bofoakwa Tano fans who traveled all the way from Sunyani to watch the game.
Tears of joy. I mean, how happy are you to qualify your team back after 16 years?
I'm so excited because I'm a diehard supporter of Bofoakwa, but it was a tough for us.
I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very excited. Maybe I'm going to lose my words. I don't know how to say. Oh, God. God bless. Thank you. God. Oh.
I'm very, very extremely happy. Sunyani, we don't have a festival there. Football is our festival. So if either Bofu or BA, we all support it. BA, Bofu, all the way.
How happy are you to have Wonders?
It has been 16 long years. A lot of disappointment, but indeed, and now by you've seen what God has written is written. A lot of things were done against us. The referee came with the results, but we thank God that after all these years, Bofoakwa Tano is back into the Ghana Premier League.
So those were the celebrations at the Accra Sports Stadium, but they continue through the streets of Sunyani. Bofoakwa Tano are back in Ghana's top flight. So we now have the three promoted clubs, that is Accra, Nations FC, Bofoakwa Tano, and then Bando Heart of Lion. So these clubs are coming into the Premier League. Two traditional clubs, Heart of Lions and Bofo, and then we have Nations FC, a very new team owned by the son of Dr. Kwame Che, who is the board chair for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now moving on to the Black Stars, and Chris Hutton announced his squad yesterday with some notable absentees, all because of injury. Mohamed Salisu, Antoine Semenyo, Tariq Lamptey are all missing the squad, all because of injuries. So you look at the list, and there is Lawrence Atizigi, Joseph Wolacott, Abdul Manaf, Nuruddin, the goalkeepers. In defense, Dennis Odoy, Ali Duseidu makes a return to the team. Gideon Mensah, Patrick Pozo, Daniel Amati, Joseph Edu, Alexander Jiko, and Nicholas Upoku has been recalled. Now in midfield, Thomas Partey, Mohamed Kudus, Majid Ashmeri maintains his name on the list, and Salis Abdul Samed, who is the midfielder of the year in the French league, also coming in. Edmond Ado also maintains his place in there. For the wingers, Abdul Fatawi Sahako is out, and in his place, SNS Nyama, 19-year-old for FC Midtjylland. He scored 15 goals with 4 assists this season for the Danish club in all competitions, but 12 goals in the league. He also helped the Black Meteors to qualify for the Under-23 AFCON that will be coming up later this year. That is next month. So he's been called Joseph Pencil, Osman Bukari, and then Kamaldeen Suleiman. In attack, there is Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Iñaki Williams, and Kwesi Ochevret has been recalled into the team. This is because Antoine Semenyo is still nursing a shin injury that is going to keep him out until July or August when preseason begins. Now, the Black Stars will open camp on Monday, the 12th of June, in readiness for the Cup of Nations match against Madagascar. The team will train for at least 4 days in Accra before departing for Antananarivo on Friday, June 16, for the crucial Group E clash against Madagascar. Ghana will go into the game sitting on top of the group to qualify for Cote d'Ivoire. 8 points, 2 wins, and then 2 draws in the first 4 games. The match will take place at the start Kian-Jabaria in Antananarivo on Sunday, the 18th of June, 2023 at 5 p.m. So take note, Ghana against Madagascar on the 18th of June. Now, news coming in, Ghana is going to face the United States of America in the USA. But before that, the USA will face Germany on October 14th at the Rentschler Field in Pratt and Whitney Stadium in Hartford before the U.S. men's national team will make the first visit to the Geodis Park in Nashville on October 17 against Ghana. Well, the Yanks will play the Black Stars of Ghana 3 days later in his first visit to Geodis Park in Nashville. 10 and TNT and Universal will televise the match with Max and Peacock streaming at 8 p.m. European time, followed by kickoff at 8:30 p.m. also European time. Now, Ghana has twice knocked the United States out of the World Cup 2006 and 2010 and will be seeking their first win on U.S. soil in all-time series. Now let's move to Black Stars defender Tariq Lamptey. Well, he's had an injury-ravaged season, but together with his charity institution, Tariq Lamptey made a visit to Asaman Kese on Tuesday to donate to 2 schools as part of his annual activity. The donation is part of Tariq's yearly charity works in Ghana, which he started 5 years ago during his time at Chelsea. The defender Tariq, together with his foundation, currently continue their works, and he's not part of Chris Hughton's side due to an injury, but he's confident that his colleagues can achieve the results by qualifying for Cote d'Ivoire 2023 without him. He also reflects on an excellent season for his club Brighton and Hove Albion, who will be playing in the Europa League next season.
92.7. Yeah, the boys have had a fantastic season, and we're really happy. We'd have to go away now, rest and recover, and then be ready for next season, because it's a big season, a lot of games, and I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I'm just working hard to get back to full fitness, and hopefully I can help the boys, but good luck to them in the next few games.
Well, it's a big night for the European football. This evening, AS Roma manager Jose Mourinho has never lost a European Cup final, while Sevilla have also won 6 from the 6 finals that they've been in the Europa League. Something has to give in this evening in Budapest at 7 p.m. The 60-year-old Portuguese has won 5 major continental titles to his name, 2 Champions League wins, 2 Europa League wins, and last year's triumph in the inaugural Europa Conference League with the Italian club AS Roma. Mourinho on today's final.
Jose, 2 finals, 2 years. How do you do it?
Working hard, motivating players to work hard, believing, never give up, even in the difficult moments, and thinking always that what happened before is history, and if you want to be in football, you have to be always with the same ambition as they won. So we enjoy, we fight, we work, we go, and we want to play that final Wednesday.
Well, wanting to play that final today. Now, 20 years on, Mourinho is defying the naysayers who said his career was on the wane after a disappointing spell at Tottenham Hotspur. Well, if Roma leaves the trophy in Hungary, Mourinho will put clear of Giovanni Trapattoni, who also won 5 major European trophies in his coaching career. The critics don't bother Mourinho at all ahead of this evening's clash.
I don't care. What can I do? Fight everyone? No.
But win every final.
I cannot do it. I work hard and try my best. That's my education. That's what I do every day. My history is there. Nobody can delete. But it's also my philosophy of life is not, oh, I want this, and this. No. I have a final to play Wednesday, and I want to do anything I can to try to win it.
Good luck.
Thanks so much.
Jose Mourinho there, but his captain Lorenzo Pellegrini, who captained the team to win last year's Europa Conference final, has spoken on this game. He believes that he and his men are ready to make their coach Mourinho proud.
You need to go out there and play finals. You need to approach them as best you can in terms of heart, head, desire, technique, tactics, all of those different attributes. It's a different game to all of the ones that we've been involved in. As Lorenzo has said, it's been a very tough road, a long road that's brought us this far, but we know that we are worthy recipients of being in this final, and we need a whole host of different factors tomorrow night to make sure that over the course of 90, 100 minutes out there, Roma are on top. We know that we're up against a great side, but we've been preparing for this game for the last 2 days, and we know that what we've prepared for to approach the game as best we can.
Well, so that is from the side of AS Roma, but for Sevilla, 2 months after taking charge, their coach Jose Luis Mendilibar is preparing for an intriguing final. Mendilibar speaks ahead of the big showdown against Roma tonight.
The club in this competition, especially in the last 20 years, has been the best team in this competition. Like I said, the trophies are there, and it's true that even if the team is struggling, when you come here, when you get to a final, or when you get to Sevilla, people don't settle for playing, a few good games, etc. No, they will tell you that the Europa League is there and you need to compete for it. We saw it from a distance when we arrived. Well, we've managed to play a couple of good games against good teams. Well, we did things right. And we are going to play a very different team tomorrow, but we have our own weapons, and I'm convinced we'll be able to play a good game tomorrow.
So that is from Mendilibar. Meanwhile, experienced player Ivan Rakitic is hoping he's going to add to his trophy haul. He believes that the many critics who have been speaking about the team not being able to play against big sides won't count tonight.
Nothing really waits. If we're here, it's because we deserve it, because we did things well in the playoffs, etc. So obviously nobody gives you anything in football, so we deserve being here. And all these 2 legs, we've been all in all the best team. If we want it, we're going to have to do it ourselves. We're going to have to play the perfect game, like I said before. So only because somebody made up that sentence in the club offices, that doesn't really take an iota of excitement from us. So we are going to start with this eagerness right now on the training session, and we will need to prove it tomorrow on the pitch. Like I said, play the perfect game, get the trophy, and bring it home.
Well, bringing the trophy home, that is it there from Ivan Rakitic. But moving away from the Europa League, that will be coming up at 7 p.m. tonight. Alan Smith has revealed Arsenal are in pole position to sign West Ham United captain Declan Rice, but they won't overpay the odds for him.
No, I can't really. I have to say, not 120 million. We saw their negotiation tactics with Mudryk when, he was linked to Arsenal, and they would only go over they would only go up to a certain price, and after that, they were out. And they left it to Chelsea with Mudryk. And if somebody else wanted to bid silly money for Declan Rice, having spoken to people within the recruitment side, people on the board at Arsenal who have given me an idea of how they work, they've got a ceiling, and they won't be held to ransom. So they'll have a figure in the mind, and they'll go up to that if they do want him, but they won't go any higher. So I think it'd be a great move for him. Arsenal are on the cusp of big things, I hope. Who knows? Maybe Mason Mount will come across from Chelsea as well. They're big buddies, come through the Chelsea Academy together. That would be a plus point for both of them, really. I mean, that would be 2 fantastic signings. But I think Arsenal might just be in the box seat in terms of getting him, and that'd be a great coup.
So that is from Alan Smith, but to the sporting director who has been making all the purchases for Arsenal, Eduardo Gaspar. The Brazilian has outlined that strengthening Arsenal's squad is the priority ahead of next year. Edu Gaspar of Arsenal.
We are all happy to see the progression of the team, isn't it, and the club. So I think that's the main reason which we feel proud of the season. To be fair, we have the taste of, we couldn't make something really special, but we have to respect ourselves as well, what we've done. And we have to keep going to the direction we're going as a club. So keep that kind of mentality, to see everyone looking to win important things. And yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep in the direction we planned, and yeah, excited for the next season.
Very much excited for the next season. Well, according to Edu Gaspar. Now let's move on to Manchester United forward Anthony Martial, and he has another injury that is going to keep him out of the FA Cup. The FA Cup final against Manchester City due to a hamstring. The Frenchman sustained the injury after coming off the bench against Fulham on Sunday in United's final game of the season. So very unfortunate that for that is Manchester United attacker Martial is out of Saturday's FA Cup final against Manchester City due to an injury. The France international strained his hamstring towards the end of Sunday's 2-1 win against Fulham. Now Atletico Madrid president Enrique Cerezo says João Felix will be returning to Atletico Madrid at the end of his loan spell because incoming Chelsea manager that is Mauricio Pochettino is not interested in keeping the player at the side. So a few news from that is the Wimbledon and champion Elena Rybakina has brushed off a slow start to dispatch Czech teenager Brenda Frotitova in straight sets on Tuesday and book a place in a 6-4, 6-2 victory. Well, now world number 2 Daniel Medvedev was knocked out of the French Open in the first round on Tuesday, losing in 5 sets to 172nd ranked Thiago Seyboth of Brazil. 7-6, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-4. It ended Medvedev's fifth loss in an opening round of the Roland Garros. There was victory for Alexander Zverev as he managed to defeat South African Harris 7-6, 7-6, 6-1 in 3 straight sets. Now finishing off with some NBA, and Miami Heat have gotten to the final of the playoffs. The first game is coming up tomorrow, but the head coach Spoelstra Eric has spoken about the organization of his team, especially in that final game against the Boston Celtics. He believes they can get better.
I'll get to that. Let me first say this about Boston. I mentioned it out there to Ernie, but we tip our hat to the Celtics organization. They are first class. Pat feels a certain way about Boston, so I make sure that everybody feels a certain way about Boston. That's part of my job as the caretaker. With that said, there's great respect for them as competitors, and they are first class. You look across the way, just in terms of their ownership group and Brad and Joe and his coaching staff, they're good people, and they're a class organization. And what happened last year, obviously was on our mind, and it drove us this year. And that's what you always hope for competition, that it can drive you to a higher level. And I think that's what you saw in this series this year, to be able to have to overcome a lot of stuff. And
so that is it there from that is the NBA. But this afternoon, Ghana's Black Princesses are up against Cote d'Ivoire in the ongoing WAFU Under-20 Girls Championship World. This for the Zumbi. Ghana will be playing against Cote d'Ivoire at the Barbara Sports Stadium in the first semi-final game. Ghana managed to qualify after having 2 victories. Cote d'Ivoire had a draw, and they won their other game to make it this far. So big game for the Black Princesses in Kumasi. All those in Kumasi just trooped to the stadium to support the Black Princesses. Yusuf Basigi and his side have been doing extremely well. That will be all for sports this morning on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Well, a happy birthday to Daniel Kofipoku. Well, this is coming from your friend Joseph Frimpong, and to Doreen, Doreen Asamoah Bani. This is coming from Jermaine Nanakwesi, Edna Nanabani, SK, and then Kelvin. Well, these are the messages coming in for you. Well, today, it's a big one on GPL Express at 9:30 p.m. on TV3. Make sure you catch a date with me and the rest of the team for a very big one from Bofuakwatano to the final 2 games of the Ghana Premier League. We are yet to see which 2 sides are joining Kotoko Royals to Division 1. Well, Johnny Hughes and the rest of the team take over now. Have a brilliant morning, but DJ Abiam has some fine tunes to serve you before Sunrise continues.